Okay. All right. Now we're ready.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Hi, it's your boy Skinny Penis and your girl.
Skinny penis.
Yeah, but with more eyes. We're gonna walk you through the character creating on D&D Beyond really quick. So all you gotta do is from that home page, just go to create a character top left, click on that bad boy, and then just go standard. We don't need to do anything fancy here. Uh, that's where you want your character's name or whatever. What are we calling our character?
Let's call him. Um, let's call him. No, stop. No, no. Okay. Yes, this is it. This is the perfect name.
All right, perfect. I think that's probably as high as it gets. Don't worry about this bit. I would take those off. Those are just those are non-canon, so don't worry about it. You can leave them if you want. It doesn't matter.
I didn't really have
Let's
to worry about
see.
any of that.
Honestly, leave advancement type on milestone. Probably won't have to worry about that either. I usually do fixed hit points, so leave everything else. Leave everything else on this page, and then you can hit that next button, and then you probably you have to pick which race you're gonna want to do. Meg, what are we feeling?
Well, the basic races that you can like get away with in most settings,
Mm-hmm.
right, are what is it? The Dragonborn. Oh, there
I
it is.
guess.
Thank you. You
Mm.
filtered it to basic rules.
Yeah, if you do that, that's the safest way to go about doing it. And then
Mm-hmm.
all these
If
guys,
you go with any of those others, there's a chance that you might,
your DM might
like,
not be so Gucci on it.
yeah. I think in this case, Dan's chill.
I really don't care. Anyways, so when you're doing this, you just only thing you got to keep in mind is that they get different bonuses to different stats. So depending on what class you are, you might
If
want
you're
to pick a different
min-maxing.
thing. So like if we're looking at the Dragonborn, he's got more strength. He's a little bit more charismatic, and he's also got some abilities like he gets a breath attack. But so
You get to pick based on your ancestry.
yeah,
But
so
it'll go ahead and pick Dragonborn. Let's make him a Dragonborn, yeah?
okay, yeah. So
So
literally all you have to do is read through all the stuff and see what
and
strikes your
then
fancy.
and then you click choose race.
Mm.
And then
Depending
you get to pick the
on
special stuff.
depending on what you pick, you're gonna have different things. You only have to click on the ones that have the blue exclamation mark on them, because that's the one that you have a choice with. So in this
You could
case,
still read through the other ones. I would still recommend that.
yeah, probably
but-
do that. So you could read through. This one is just picking the color of the Dragonborn because that determines the type of breath that they have. What do you think?
Let's see. What's his name? We
It's
should
like
call him.
no.
No. Okay, yes. Let's make him a silver dragon.
And he's really really indecisive.
Really? What
So
kind of breath did that give him?
silver is cold breath.
Old breath.
On account of all the ice cream, I think he eats.
Well, let's take a look. What does his breath weapon do?
Okay, so
Go down to breath weapon.
oh yes. You use your breath weapon. Each area or creature in an area must make a saving throw. On a failed save, they take 2d6 damage, half as much on a successful one. So, yeah, that's Dragonborn's thing.
We'll go over more rules later.
Yeah, don't worry about that for now. So we'll pop over to class. This one, honestly, whatever you want. But thinking back, the
What's the most
Dragonborn's got.
indecisive?
Well, the Dragonborn's also got, if you're going off the stats, he's got strength and he's got charisma, which if we were going off the stats
Min-max
would be
would
like
be
a
a paladin, right?
probably. Yeah. Yeah,
But it does tell
probably-
you what stats each one is good with, right?
Yeah.
Click on them.
So if you click, you'll see the
His
primary.
ability is strength.
Yes, and so that probably means you want higher strength for it. Some of the classes, like a fighter, will have a different one or additional, so you could go strength or dex depending on what you want. So I guess I'll give you a quick. A strength weapon is basically any weapon that hits
A
hard
lumberjack would wield.
that you could use basically without any finesse, more or less. Dex would be like a dagger, rapier, bow and
bow and
arrow.
arrow.
Yeah. It'll tell you on the description as well. So let's make him. Let's give him like a default class. Maybe indecisive. You think fighter?
Yeah, I think he couldn't decide. So yeah,
He went with business school of classes.
yeah.
If you want to, you can read through what sort of stuff they'll get. Honestly, just read up to like the 3rd level for now.
Yeah. We're stopping at 3rd level.
We're going to stop at 3rd. So you're going to click that, and it'll bring you here. So make sure first thing you go over to the level, and you pop that up to 3. And same thing as before, we get these blue exclamation marks. That's what you have to worry about for picking, but I would read through everything. So we'll go through. And just base this honestly off what you think the character would possess. So
proficiencies are something that your character is good at.
yes.
I think that may have been self-explanatory, but these skills that you're choosing, your character is going to excel at whenever it comes to doing those things.
Yeah, so they get a bonus basically whenever you roll
Yeah.
whatever. So he's an indecisive dragonborn. I think maybe he's what do you think? Maybe he likes
Maybe he could I bet he knows how to survive.
survival.
He probably sat thinking around so long that the city melted around him and he was left in a more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And maybe history, because he remembers every time he was indecisive. Every single time.
Yeah.
So if it came down to it, and the DM asked for a survival or a history roll, he would have a bonus to that roll. So he's better at it, basically.
The good news is that D&D Beyond does proficiencies on the rolls for you.
Yes.
So you don't have. This is like super easy light mode to create a character. This is
for
the
sure. Plug and
best
play.
way. My first one was like on a piece of paper and I couldn't figure it out.
Oh, I don't do that. That's too.
So nice.
So most of them have a fighting style as their 1st or 2nd level. So we'll say he's.
Ooh.
See, there's a bunch of stuff. And if you want to preview what it's all about, say you wanted to see what Great Weapon Fighting was about, you just click it, and then it pops up a little thing underneath. So
tell me more about 2-weapon fighting, because
You
I
want
think
to?
our boy is so indecisive that he had to like use 2 weapons because he couldn't pick between one.
So with 2-weapon fighting, you add your ability modifier to the damage of the second attack. That's a thing specific to 2 weapons. Usually, when you have
So if he's
two
holding
weapons,
like 2 different single-handed axes.
yeah, usually you wouldn't be able to add anything to the second attack. It would just be a straight dice roll. But with this, you get a bonus to that. So maybe he's got that, but he's got like a wand and an axe. And then there's some more features. You can read through those as well. Won't do that right now. And then this is the big one. You're going to have some sort of archetype or divine. Basically, you can have an advanced
You're going to branch
class.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, you get
You're
promoted.
going to branch off a little. Mm-hmm.
And same thing as similar to before. Say we wanted him to be I don't know.
Samurai. That's an option. No, 2-handed samurai.
be like
no.
an
Fools.
Eldritch Knight, because that's magic
Ooh.
and magic.
Yeah, he
and,
couldn't decide.
Yeah, so that'll pop up 2 more things. So you can read into it, see what they get. So he'd get like cantrips with spell casting.
Trips are spells.
Our spells, yes. The lowest level spell. There's some other stuff. So if I were to change this to the Battle Master, all that stuff would change. So we'll keep that as an Eldritch Knight just for now. We'll go through to his abilities on this one, on this little drop-down bar. Go to point by, because this is the easiest. You'll see that some of these, like they start at 8 by default, but some of these are up to are up
9 and
to 10 and 9.
because that was our race. Our race did that, right? Oh, it even tells you.
It does.
Look, it says +2 to racial bonus.
Yeah.
Right, that's neat.
Yeah, so he is, what did we make? He's a fighter, so we'll give him some
But he
strength.
can't decide between magic and...
Yeah, we don't need to min-max it. Let's just go like a 13. Here's the other thing. You need to check what their spellcasting modifier is. So if we go down, you'll find this. If you're a spellcaster, intelligence. So he needs some intelligence as well to be effective. So we'll just, for now, we'll do that. I feel like he's pretty constitutional, 'cause
Yeah, I would say so.
not
Maybe
very
that's his best
wise.
stat.
Yeah? Okay,
He's
let's
got the
bump that up.
constitution to sit around and waste a shitload of time.
Probably like average, maybe a little average dex. Is he charismatic, you think?
I would say probably not. People get pissed off at him for not making up his mind.
All right, let's do strength and constitution, then intelligence. Maybe he's not that intelligent. He really isn't. Well, that's not bad.
You made him more intelligent. Oh, I see.
Yeah, we had to just make sure when you're done, you have 0
out of 27.
Yeah, you don't want to waste any of those.
Now, if you go back to class, there is a tab now because we clicked the spells.
Yes. So
we chose a spell casting subclass, so we have to pick our spells.
Made the horrible mistake of playing a spellcaster for your first one, it's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
It's not.
There's a lot of stuff to look at, though.
Yeah. If you look at add spells under that tab, you'll see that I have 2 slots for a cantrip. I have 0 picked right now, and 3 spells we can learn. So under each of these spells says cantrip, or
I like to filter it.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Okay.
So what I like to do is click those little filter by spell level. That way, so now it's just showing the cantrips.
So I
know that I can pick 2 from that list.
Yeah. So this is the same as everything. You just click on it. You can see what the deal is. Maybe for this guy, he is an Eldritch Knight. Maybe a Booming Blade, because that's
cool.
weapon 1. And then you can read the description, make sure it's something you want, and then you just click learn. Cantrips.
Oh, Green Flame Blade. That's cool as hell, too.
He couldn't decide on which. You're okay. He got both.
Decide on which one.
So cantrips are what you can cast without like anything. You don't use any spell slots, which are the number of spells you can use per day. So you can really just pick the coolest ones, honestly. And then we'll go to the first level, and we get 3 slots. So catapult sounds rad. He's taking that. I don't care what it is. Here's a little cautionary thing. Don't just pick combat. Pick like stuff that has some utility, like Featherfall.
Especially in Dan's campaigns, he doesn't do too terribly much as far as combat goes.
Yeah, it'll usually be one enemy versus Jim's magic missile. Hold on.
Jim?
Holy shit, he's taking that.
Boring old pale magic missile, but his magic missile, what's special about his?
Let's see what it does more damage.
Your grandfather, oh my god, do away with the drudgery of your grandfather's magic with this improved version. Oh.
And I guess just for the last one, maybe identify, because he's
another weapon, ice knife.
He's got all the weapons. Okay, so this is all done. Make sure all this is good. Description, you can choose the background. I would do this.
That actually is important. This is important.
Because this will give you more proficiencies, which, if you might remember, give you better rolls.
Stat rolls.
Yeah, so let's say he's...
Celebrity Adventurer Scion? Hold on, what is that?
Scion's
so some of these options that you see, if you just go into D&D Beyond and just, create an account and start doing this, you might not see some of the same options that Dan has, because Dan has a lot of paid content.
I do.
If you get the link that we've sent you in Discord, you can use Dan's content.
You do need an account
from your own account.
Yeah, you need your own account. Let's say he's a failed merchant because he couldn't make up his mind
on what he wanted to sell.
Yeah, so you'll see. You can read all this stuff. That's just a little flavor.
It gives him investigation and persuasion.
Yeah, these are the proficiencies that you get out of it. They're all relevant to the background. If you pick something that has one of your skills that you are already proficient in, it'll let you repick them. But tool proficiencies, just pick something that makes sense for him. I think he's tried it all, but what he really excelled at was carpentry.
But he can never decide. He never finishes anything because he doesn't know what to build.
Right. And languages, just pick something that makes sense for him as well. He took an elective in school.
Yeah? See, he already knows Draconic and Common. You always learn your race's language plus Common.
Yeah. If you're a human, I think you get a bonus thing. Anyway.
So maybe he took... What's this fantasy equivalent of Spanish?
That's...
Dwarvish?
Halfling. Well, no,
Halfling?
Gnomish, I bet. I bet Gnomish.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so we took a semester in Gnomish.
Well, let's skip over this for now.
Yeah, this bit you don't really...
You don't have to fill that out.
You can if you want to.
It gives you really... Well, why don't we show them? It gives you a really good idea, like if you know how you're going to roleplay your character, or if you don't know how you're going to roleplay your character, this helps.
Yeah, so this is...
your own.
Yeah, this would give you ideas for personality traits. Honestly, if you already have an idea, you don't have to. The only thing that I would maybe look at is supply or your background feature. So this one gives them a bonus. You can call on connections while looking for information, which is interesting. So if I change that, you would get a different thing. Let's pop over equipment. This is easy. You just click equipment. And then it gives you what your classes, not all of them have the same, would start with. So,
oh man, would he pick the longbow?
I think he would because there's a weapon. So let's
There's
go
a weapon involved.
longbow, two martial weapons.
Yes.
He absolutely has an axe. You do have to be careful because...
What's a war pig? Sorry, I'm getting so
You're okay. You do have to be a little careful because some of these things are two-handed weapons. Some of these you can use one or the other. You just...
Will it tell you?
I don't know. No.
No, it won't. So greatsword, we know just from experience that it's
two hands. So we won't do that. Battle axe, you can use one or two. You can use both. That's what's called a versatile weapon. So if you literally like pull open a different tab, see, you can see that.
You can go to D&D Beyond for that as well.
You should do D&D Beyond, but when you go through all these things, you'll see some of them are versatile, which means you can use them with one or two hands. Or heavy weapons, there's a whole bunch. Two-handed, that's all you have to look at, really. In this case, I don't think he would. Flail? Yeah, he's got one flail, I think.
And he's got to have that battle axe.
He's got a battle axe, because he likes the option of having one or two. And he has a... Oh, no, he's got a crossbow, too. These ones give you different things. Explorer, Dungeoneer packs. You might have different stuff depending on your backstory. These things don't. Dungeoneer is going
to be stuff more. I think the Dungeoneer would be more suited for being in a cave.
Yeah, more or less. This one's more traveling in the overworld and whatnot. These, the most important bits in these, because a lot of this doesn't usually come into play. But like things like a tinderbox or a torch or that rope, that could all come in handy. This one, crowbar, hammer, you just be creative about it, right? There's nothing holding you to it.
There's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah, artisan tours, he's really good at carpentry, but he's starting to pick up cartography. So we're going to give him that. Yeah. And then he's got a bunch of other stuff. If it doesn't have a description, it's usually just flavor. So click the big red button, add starting equipment, and let it load. And so now you'll see that all that stuff's in his inventory. So now you can click on this big square on the right, and
there's your
ignore
character.
That.
Oh yeah.
So here's the character. All you need to do to make sure, see right now he doesn't have anything equipped. So you want to go through and equip his armor, and you'll see that changes the armor class of his character. That's how difficult you are to hit. And we can add his weapon. And where's the other one? This one. He's got both. And so now when you go to your actions, it'll tally it all up for you, and you don't have to worry about it. So
show them the virtual dice, Dan. This is going to be super useful for you guys who are new and don't know exactly how to use the proficiency bonuses, or if you don't have dice.
Yeah, so if you were to attack with your battle axe, all you would have to do is click on the battle axe action there, and it rolls your to hit. So it's a 24 to hit. That calculates everything with all your everything. So and then it gives you hit whatever we were going for, it hit, and then it gives you the options. So if you were swinging it one-handed, which he would have been, 7 damage, or if you're doing it two-handed, 10 damage. So literally, if you want to roll a I don't know, proficiency with history. You'll see you have a bonus to
maybe
it.
somebody's asking him what the Pledge of Allegiance is, and he can't
Yeah.
quite remember.
He's got a 19. He remembers most of it.
He remembers.
He probably remembers all of it. You got your saving throws, everything. Your spells have their own tab over there. So literally, yeah, that's about it for starting the character. I think that's all you really have to worry about.
Yeah, as far as making the character.
Yeah.
But as for what this stuff is, during the session, Dan will say, all right, I need you to make a investigation check. And you'll come through, you'll find investigation on your list. You'll click the button.
And
you'll tell him what you rolled. And then he'll tell you whether or not you succeeded in what it is you've done.
It's worth mentioning it's the one in the box, not the +4. What you roll is in the box. Because the +4 is just what you add. Yeah, literally.
Yeah. And it'll tell you what the actual dice landed on if you hover over it as well, which is kind of cool, I guess. So for that one, if you hover over it, you rolled a 12, but with your proficiency and modifiers, you got a 16. Yeah. The 16 is all that matters to you.
If you need notes, you can write them all down over here. I don't usually use that, so I think you guys
if you want to write a backstory, you can, but you can come up with that as
totally
you go
optional.
along.
That's all good. Don't worry too much about that. This is kind of actually, now that I think about it, proficiencies for armor sets and weapons. That's kind of important. You want to make sure that anything you're wearing or using, you're proficient with, because he's a fighter. He's basically proficient with whatever, so it's not a big deal. But
armor's a big one, though.
Armor
why don't you show them how to find out whether it's heavy or light?
You'll notice that, for one thing, that his AC is only went up by 1. And that's because he doesn't... Leather armor gives you AC based off of dexterity modifier, and he doesn't have any. So it only went up by the base, 1. Sorry.
So leather armor wasn't the best choice, but...
It wasn't, but in the backstory, it made sense. So if you go over into the equipment, you can see what their traits are. You see the light armor. If you go to the flail, you can see over on the side there what it is.
It's bludgeoning damage, which means it'll crack a skull as opposed to drilling a hole into your skull.
Yeah, I believe it's a simple weapon. I don't see it. Oh, yeah, here. Battle axe is good. Here. See, you can see it's a martial versatile. And these other things, the booming blade and green flame blade, mean they're compatible with that spell that we picked earlier. So, yeah, that's basically all I think we have to touch on.
Tell them, let's say you wanted to cast Ice Knife.
Okay. Well, there's Ice Knife down there. I'd find on my list. Click cast. And then once again, this one, I believe...
has a DC saving throw. This one has a DC.
This one's a roll to hit.
It's a roll to hit, and it says there's a save as well.
So you would do your roll to hit, and then...
Whoever it hits has to roll a save.
Yeah, if you hit them, they take the piercing damage, and then if they fail to save, they take the cold damage. It'll all say in the spell description, so it's not all the same.
We can help, too.
Yeah, and that automatically takes out that spell slot. That thing I was telling you about.
You have limited numbers of uses, is what that means.
So if you were to use it again, you wouldn't be able to use another spell. See, it whites it out from the first levels. Yeah, you can use these.
Cantrips you can use forever.
Literally whenever. So that, I think, adds to your... Anyway. Yeah, you can see stuff like your defenses. He's resistant to cold. That might be important. If you get hit by a cold spell, he takes half damage. Conditions...
If Dan tells you you're encajaculated, then you would check off that box.
Yep. It's not on there, so we'll go with... say maybe he's just deaf. I don't know. He's deaf and blind.
Somebody shot a gun right next to his ear.
And invisible. People aren't really sure if he's real or not. So there's that.
They bump into him, but he doesn't respond.
If I tell you that you guys take a short or a long rest, they have them both up here. And so we'll say you took a long rest. You'll notice that you get your spell slots back at the bottom. This is important too, damage. If I tell you you take 5 damage or whatever, you just type it in this box, hit damage, and that does that. And
let's say I heal you for 3.
Yeah, then it goes back up. If you drop down to 0, and you have to do death saving throws, that just pops right up. You can roll off of this, and then I
That's a
believe
fail.
it doesn't
You have to manually
automatically do
mark
it.
it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you would do it. So if you get 2 fails in a row, or 3 fails in a row, then you're dead. So he's dead. He just
Yeah.
died.
We just
Literally
died.
just died.
We actually just died. So it was a good run. Let's call him stop. No, okay, yes.
Initiative.
Initiative. Back on the death saves, the cutoff is 10. So if you get 10 through 20, I believe, which is weird because you get only 9 chances to fail on each roll and 11 chances to succeed.
You don't add anything to that ever. You don't.
No, it's
nothing.
just the base roll.
You just roll. Flip of a coin, basically. Ish.
Ish.
Initiative, that's if you go into combat. I'm going to ask you all to roll initiative, and the order in combat is determined by who's got the highest roll. So if someone
He might
rolled,
be in the middle of combat there.
Yeah, he's got a 13, and let's say someone else rolled 14. So
He'd be before that person.
Yeah, 14 would go before 13.
Well, he'd be way after because he's dead.
He is dead,
He's
though,
not- he's
so
not
he
going anywhere.
He wouldn't be doing any of this. But
He's dead.
yeah, that's
It is worth
about-
mentioning that if somebody heals you while you're doing your death saving throws, will you click on there really fast? That so let's say somebody casts healing hands and you gain, I don't know, 7 points of healing. You can't do it if you've done a full, like, all 3. If you've rolled 3 fails on the death saving throw, you're dead. Like, there ain't no coming back from that. But if somebody manages to heal you before you fail on all 3, you regain consciousness, I believe.
Yep, basically up to my discretion, more or less. But yeah,
Yeah,
for the
that's
most part, I would say, yeah, unless you get, like, destroyed or something. I don't know. In that case,
Dan will tell
maybe
you.
not. I'll tell you how to do it. If I say someone attacks you and they roll, so let's do it as if he was rolling against himself. This is the score you're going to look at. So if I rolled with a battle axe, that's a 21 to hit. So you compare that to your armor class. If it's higher, then you get hit.
Which it was.
Yeah.
He got hit as heck.
If it ties, it hits. If it gets lower, it misses. So if I rolled an 11, you'd still get hit. If I rolled a 10, you wouldn't get hit. That's basically, I think that's basically it.
Yeah.
I would maybe share the page with us. Not in.
Do you want to create a new campaign for us to put it into?
I think I already made one actually.
Did you?
One shot. Yeah.
Lamplight
Yeah, he's
Verse.
already in here. Captain Pickle already in here.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, Captain Pickle. Hell yeah,
Woo!
baby.